As always, Ted kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
I guess I'm a little early on this, but pretty much every mock draft you look at has the same thing. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., and absolute freak show of a wide receiver. Think that would be so awesome for Kyler to get a player like that. Have him as the number 4 overall pick, wide receiver. Be shocked if that's not how it goes. It feels like that's what everyone's predicting. There's usually a good reason for that. Kyler needs a little bit of help out there, and a go-to wide receiver like that could do everything. He's a possession guy, runs great routes on the outside, deep threat, great after the catch, could do absolutely everything. So that would be a home run for Kyler.
Do you think there is any chance they consider taking Malik Neighbors instead of Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Maybe.
Because the one, and I don't even know if it's a knock. I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. has like elite speed. We know Malik Neighbors does.
Yeah.
So
Well,
and remember, Harrison Jr. didn't run a pro day, didn't run on the combine, and he didn't have to.
right. I,
But I wonder if there's a discussion taking place.
it's a good discussion to have. And if they take Neighbors instead of Harrison, then Kyler Murray's in the exact same spot. Like, I don't know who I would select between those two guys. It'd be hard. I have to go put a lot of work into it, as I know the NFL is. I think they're both fantastic. So maybe they will. If they do, I I feel just as good about it. I feel like both of those guys are kind of a can't miss.
Either way, Kyler Murray is getting a number one wide receiver.
Yeah. Yep.
So I feel like he's going to feel great either way. But yeah, I think I do wonder if there is a discussion. It just feels like it's been what, almost 2 years that everyone has just agreed that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the best wide receiver in this draft.
Yeah.
And then you combine the season that Neighbors had with his testing numbers, and everyone's like, wait, hold on a second. Is this guy Tyreek Hill 2.0? Like, yeah, Tyreek Hill's pretty good.
Yeah. And he's incredible. And honestly, you almost feel like it's a guy like Neighbors would be a guy that almost fits Kyler's style better, anyways. But I don't know. Think both of them be great. Kyler is going to be a happy man regardless, I believe.
I'm with you. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the week?
I'm sticking with the draft, and I'm going with anyone that doesn't play quarterback, wide receiver, or tackle. It's incredible. Like, you look at most of the mock drafts, 14 of the top 16 in the one I was looking at this morning are wide receiver, quarterback, and tackle. Just a couple of edge guys, Dallas Turner and the kid from UCLA, were the only two other guys that were in the top 16 picks, and both of them edge guys. And really, overall, I mean, it's mainly wide receiver, quarterback, and tackle. There's in the first round mock I was looking at, there was 19 wide receiver, quarterbacks, and tackles in the first round, which is
Wow.
crazy. And if you just want to extend it out, like edge and corner, you've pretty much locked up everything. There's a couple of D tackles. There's, I think, a couple of interior offensive linemen, but that's it. The first running back that I saw on one of the 7-round mocks was the Texas kid, Brooks, with the last pick of the second round. And he would be the first running back off the board.
Wow. Do you feel personally attacked that linebackers don't get drafted high anymore?
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, I understand it. It's turned into a passing league, and guys that catch the ball, throw the ball, protect the guy throwing the ball. I mean, it's the same thing on defense. The corner, the guys going up against the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, and the offensive tackles. I mean, that's where the battle is right now in the NFL.
What do you think New England's going to do at 3? Because it seems it's obvious Caleb Williams is going number 1 to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like everything is pointing to Washington taking Jaden Daniels at 2. New England's got kind of an interesting situation at 3. Is it Drake May? Is it there's a lot of JJ McCarthy buzz building? Like I think that's the most interesting pick in the draft.
I do too.
It's your squad, man.
I would be the crazy thing about McCarthy is I still don't know if he's any good. Like I don't know a whole lot about him. I mean, all things equal, in my opinion, I think Drake May has a much higher ceiling, but I think he also maybe has a little bit more of like he's a little bit more of a wild card pick too. But I'd probably go with Drake May. But I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, the latest seems to be McCarthy, which I mean, it almost feels like the same pick they made last time they picked quarterback, right? That with Mac Jones, it just didn't go well.
I think McCarthy is definitely a better athlete than Mac Jones. I think he had more, even though they didn't ask him to do a ton in a lot of the games. I think he had some more wow moments than Mac Jones, where you're like, okay, that guy's a good athlete, good arm. It's hard to project, man. And there are a lot of things that we've figured out in life. Technology has helped us figure out a lot of things in life, Ted, but it feels like drafting quarterbacks in the first round is a damn crapshoot still. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say this. I think I would take Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams.
Whoa. My eyebrows almost just got singed off. What? Yeah, that is a scorching hot take. Continue, sir. Go.
I don't know how it's scorching hot. He's bigger, he's faster, he's more athletic.
Okay,
I think
he's taller. He is not bigger.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't think he's as dynamic of a thrower, but I feel like he's better in every other area. I mean, it's about throwing the football. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. I think because of how athletic he is and how good he is running the ball, I think he's a plug and play guy right away, success right away. There's going to be a learning curve to get the most out of him and to be able to stay on the field. He can't just go out there and run around forever, but I don't know. I think he's excellent. I think he's got a higher ceiling. I know everyone loves Caleb Williams, and I do too. I just think that he has to remake his entire game in the NFL. I don't think Jaden Daniels has to right away.
I understand where you're coming from because of how Caleb Williams operated this season. There were very few things that felt like they were on time, in rhythm. It felt a lot. It was just a lot of off schedule stuff. And part of it was his offensive line was not very good, but it was of his own doing as well. There's just no way you could take Jaden Daniels over him.
No way?
No way. This is something we talked about during the season. And this is my number one concern with Jaden Daniels. There is no one in college football I've ever seen that when he gets blasted, it is a yard sale like him.
That's true.
It is like he's on the ski mountain, hits a bad slope, hits some ice, and everything goes flying. Like when he gets rocked, Ted, it is like a full on yard sale. And I cannot get that out of my head. I think he's really good. I think he's going to be a really good NFL quarterback. But the fact that he took some of the hits he took, he's as slight as he is.
Mhm.
Let's not even talk about the fact. Do you see that picture of his elbow during pro day? That thing looked weird. But he just, Caleb's way younger too. Like, I just, dude, come on, man. No way you think that.
I We'll see. I mean, I totally understand why they're going with Caleb Williams. I do. Um, I just think some of the generational talk about him is absurd. I mean, he I don't know. I think he's good, definitely a good quarterback. He's great. He's the best player in college football for pretty much the whole time he was in college. But I I guess I don't know, like, where does he elevate? Like, I can see Jaden Daniels, like, he brings something that not a whole lot of other guys have to the table, and I can see the rest of his game really elevate. But, if Caleb Williams figures out if he can get to where he does it all from the pocket, then I guess he really doesn't have to elevate a whole lot more than where he is right now. But we'll see.
What an interesting. I did not see that coming. Now, the only thing we haven't really hit on, probably the thing people listen to this care about most, is the OU guys. Seems like Tyler Guyton anywhere between like 20 and 30 is pretty much
Yeah.
what I've seen. The New Orleans Saints have a massive need for offensive tackle at 14. Would I be shocked if they took Guyton? No. Would it feel maybe a little early for him? Sure. But if they like Guyton more than Fashanu from Penn State, I, I wouldn't be shocked to see him come off the board there. But a lot of people think the Eagles are going to address tackle at 22. Cowboys have a need for tackle at 24. And then I've seen multiple mocks where the Ravens are taking tackle at 30. So I think that 20 to 30 range is pretty much where we should expect Guyton to come off the board.
Yeah. That's what it seems like. And back to those numbers, the mock I looked at last had 8 offensive tackles in the first round. And it's been weird. I thought Guyton was going to be a guy that maybe worked his way up, and it feels like he's kind of worked his way back. And it's not anything definitive. It's different people have different mock drafts. I guess I was kind of a little surprised by that. I thought that, the athleticism and kind of the raw nature of him, like, he would end up working his way forward. But I mean, such a deep tackle class.
Yeah. I think it's you just have guys that have played a lot more football than him
Mm-hmm.
that are in these mocks that are coming off the board before him. But there's no doubt Guyton, even if he slips to, I think with his age and his inexperience, someone's going to want him in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
If he's still there at 30, 31, 32, I think someone will trade up and get him just so they can have that extra year on his contract. But I don't know when the next OU guy's going to go. I
Yeah.
saw Dane Brugler's 7-round mock. He didn't have another OU guy going at all. So I think Walter Rouse is going to get drafted.
I do too.
I think it's probably going to be on day 3. I don't know if he's going to be a 6th-round guy, 7th-round guy. I'm not entirely sure, but other than that, the streak of OU having 4 draft picks in a row, it feels like it's in jeopardy. I
Yeah.
think Laulu is more likely to get drafted than Rame at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
with some of the
He
red
looked
flag
really good
numbers
at pro
Rain
day.
had.
Yeah. And Lulu's just got such good measurables.
He's intriguing for sure.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting to see what happens with Drake Stoops. There's so few underclassmen in this draft class. I think there's only like it's like 50 something, I think. And like 2 or 3 years ago there was like 150. Some of the guys that have stayed in is really taken the depth out of the class. So I think it helps some of those later round guys. But we'll see. I think Drake's got a chance. If he goes, it's going to be really late. But if not, I got no worries that he's going to get an opportunity as an undrafted free agent for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. NFL draft's always fun,
It
man.
is.
It is. It's like my least favorite thing ever to watch. That's a personal thing. That's from the going undrafted experience. It's fine, but I still watch it and put myself through the pain. It's gonna be fun.
It's perfect background TV.
Oh yeah, great point.
I can't sit there and watch it. I can have it on and check in on it every 5 or 10 minutes.
I'll be dialed into the first round because I'm really interested to see where Guyton goes.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him.
Yep.
All right, let's finish up with my winner and loser. But first, attention business owners, you need Insurica in your life. Insurica is one of the country's largest insurance brokers with 30 offices throughout Oklahoma, Texas, and the Southwest. Insurica is able to customize programs by accessing the latest information from many insurance carriers. They compare and contrast coverage offerings and pricing in order to design a cost-effective, comprehensive program to meet your business's specific needs. If your business partners with Insurica, you'll save huge amounts of money and take back control of your total cost of risk. If your business wants to be best in class, connect with Insurica at Insurica.com. That's INSURICA.com.
And head to opolisclothing.com for our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's OPOLIS clothing.com. Use promo code TED, TED, for 10% off. That's opolisclothing.com. Use promo code TED for 10% off. Buttery soft and 10% off.
Also, promo code works on OKC gear online
like
and in store.
Nice.
So if you need something to wear to one of the playoff games, pop into Opolis, promo code TED, snag some stuff. Saw a lot of Opolis gear at game one, Ted. So I expect it to keep ramping up. Come on, people. Use promo code when you do it, though.
Very nice.
For my winner of the week, thought about going with the New York Knicks. What an improbable win in their game two against the 76ers. Down 5 points with 47 seconds to go. It felt like the 76ers were going to win. It felt like they were going to win so much that their broadcast was talking about how much fun the postgame show was going to be. And they were saying, we've accomplished the split. We've done what we needed to do, but then everything went wrong for the 76ers. Brunson got one of the luckiest bounces I've ever seen on a three to cut it to a 2-point game. And then all hell broke loose on the inbounds. I don't know what Maxey was doing. And the last 2-minute report said he got fouled twice. I don't know, man. He kind of just fell down. DiVincenzo misses the first one. Somehow ball gets back to him, nails the second one. It got the double bang treatment from Mike Bree. Ted, it was just absolute chaos at the end of that basketball game. And then Embiid still had a chance to hit the three at the buzzer to tie it, but back iron. That was an insane finish and extremely deflating for the 76ers. All you had to do is see how Embiid's demeanor after the game. He was just head down, answering questions. It was, that had to be really, really rough for 76ers fans. Oh, my goodness.
I can imagine. But, they typically handle stuff like that really well in Philadelphia, don't they?
Yeah, of course. They don't overreact to anything. It's fine. As far as the Knicks, you're up 2-0, and Brunson has not been – he has not been good.
Yeah.
He has not been the player that he was the vast majority of the regular season. So Knicks and that fan base, they got to be feeling good about things. You haven't gotten your best player's best in the first two games, and you're up 2-0.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes for him. It's crazy. I think it's my comment about how horrible the Knicks have always been. Um, Hopefully that'll come back and they'll just continue to cruise. Despite what I said, be perfect.
I'm scared. I have a general nervousness watching Joel Embiid right now. I just don't want something bad to happen.
I
And
know
it's like
it's
once a game, it's like, oh my gosh, he blew out his knee, like everything's gone, and I don't like watching it. It makes me nervous.
it's similar to watching a giraffe where it feels like any moment the giraffe's legs are going to snap, because of how long they are.
A giant, muscled up giraffe.
People go flailing into his legs and
He
stuff.
he
It's
needs to get lighter. He's carrying too much weight.
think
It's
so.
yeah, with especially now with his history of knee injuries, he's gotta thin out. I think that would be extremely advantageous for him. But we'll see. He's still a hell of a player. It just makes me nervous watching him. My winner of the week, however, the Dallas Mavericks. Huge game 2 win for him against the Clippers on Tuesday night. 96-93. Not sure this one's overly complicated. Clippers were 8 of 30 from three. Mavs were 14 of 33. But Luka and Kyrie, they do what they did. They did what they do. Just such talented offensive players. Luka had 32, a couple of just dagger step backs. Kyrie had 23, but the key guy for them was PJ Washington. 18 points, 3 of 4 from three. It's guys like that, it's performances like that that swing playoff games and
Yeah.
playoff series. And PJ Washington was massive for the Mavericks in that game. And Kawhi Leonard was back for the Clippers finally. And I didn't think he looked particularly explosive. Uh, it's his first game back from that knee fluid, soreness, whatever you want to call it. And it seems like the Clippers have to readjust to having him out there on the floor because he likes to play a certain style.
Yeah. It's so interesting watching the Clippers. It's like a 20 teens highlight or a MVP team that's playing out there. It's funny.
It's like, wait, they've got Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Westbrook. It's got to be the best basketball team ever.
That's right. It was
No, it
funny.
is. A few observations from that game. Luka Doncic, a lot of screaming going on. I don't mind. Give me the intensity. Keep screaming, Luka. I like it. It's fun. Watching these two teams take the incredibly difficult shots that they take makes me appreciate how hard the Thunder works to get good shots in a basketball game. I mean, between
Yeah,
Luka and Kyrie and Paul George, I mean, just the level of difficulty some of these shots is amazing.
that's true. And that's interesting to think about. It's like in it may be the who's who of difficult shot making series on
Yeah,
both sides.
it's.
Let's see how hard we can make this on ourselves.
I mean, Lou Dort takes one contested three, and we're all like, "What are you doing?" And meanwhile, Luca has taken a 28-foot step back with 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. You're just like, oh my, it it is, yeah, it's interesting to watch. The only other thing about that game, the Thunder crowd's so much better than the Clippers. Oh my gosh, people, there's like 2 minutes to go in the game, and like everyone in the shot is sitting down. It bothered me.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get the
Yeah.
juices going for your team. What are you doing?
It's like a lot of places, it's a place to be seen more than it is like you're there for the game, if that makes sense. It's like a thing to go do, not like a bunch of hardcore fans are there for it. It's interesting.
I was disappointed. My loser of the week. Thought about going with our guy Marvin Mims. Nothing happened to him. He's fine. But did you see those Denver Bronco jerseys they made him model?
I did not.
Oh, now they're bringing the Orange Crush throwbacks back, which top tier jersey. The John Elway ones.
Yeah.
Those should just be their permanent jerseys, by the way. But they did a bit of a redesign, and I don't know, UTEP, UTSA, pick a college team that is orange and blue. And that's kind of how they are. It doesn't look professional. And our guy Marvin had to model him, and everyone was roasting him. And Marvin was in all the pictures, and I just felt bad because the jerseys kind of suck. They do.
You think there's one of those, like, it's like, hey, we're going to release our new jersey. We want you to be the model. And it's like, hell yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then you see it and you're like, I don't want to wear that.
I don't feel well. I don't feel good today.
Oh, you're going to have someone else do it. Oh,
Yeah,
man. Feel bad for him.
Yeah. Between that and the Zach Wilson signing, the old Broncos or the Zach Wilson trade, they had themselves a week online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whoever manages that Twitter account, whew, those mentions were interesting. My loser of the week, the Los Angeles Lakers. You hate to see it. Ted, you just think about game 2 between the Lakers and Nuggets. D'Angelo Russell went 7 of 11 from 3. LeBron had 26, 8, and 12. Anthony Davis had 32 and 11. Denver shot 8 of 34 from 3. Jamal Murray missed 16 of his first 19 shots. And the Lakers still lost to the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about deflating losses, man. They blew a 20-point lead.
It's crazy.
And it is now 10 losses in a row for the Lakers to the Nuggets, and that includes 6 playoff games. They've lost 6 in a row in the playoffs to them. And I don't know if this is an encouraging or even a more frustrating stat. They've lost those 6 games by an average of 6 points. They just can't get over the hump against Jokic and the Nuggets. That they just can't finish the job, man.
They can't. And Jokic's brother's up in the stands punching people. That guy is a monster.
He's a monster, but shout out to the guy that just ate that right.
I know, because his fist is as big as his entire head.
And he ate it and kept talking. I was like, damn, okay, sir.
Whew.
That's how you take a punch, man. That was impressive.
No kidding.
Also, you can't be punching people in the stands, man. What's he doing?
He does not appear to care.
That is one way to put it. He does not appear to care. You are correct, sir.
I'm fairly certain that he's killed people before too. Yeah.
Fairly certain.
Can't prove
I think you have to say the word allegedly. I think that's how you avoid anyone coming after you.
Right.
The Jamal Murray shot to win that game. Is there anything better in sports than the true buzzer beater in basketball to win it? I mean, what an incredible shot on that fadeaway over Anthony Davis. He had not shot the ball well throughout the game and just hit 2 really, really tough shots late. I mean, he's falling onto the ground into the bench. Horn goes off. They mob him. Anthony Davis is like falling into the bench. It was just, what a scene in Denver.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I don't know. Do you think the Lakers are going to be able to get one, or is it going to be the same? I mean, they jumped out to a huge lead and couldn't get it done, which sometimes it feels like the lead in the NBA, a big early lead is not something that you want.
The NBA is crazy.
Yeah.
A 20-point lead never feels safe. It's insane.
Yeah.
But one team has Jokic and the other team doesn't. He had 27 and 20. And they were able to win a game where he tried to heave a three to draw a foul with just over a minute to go in the game, and Aaron Gordon just happens to catch it and pass it out to Michael Porter Jr., and he hits a three to tie the game at 95.
It's like he drew it up.
The fact that he tried to do that in that moment is insane. And he's tried to do it a lot throughout the season, and he never gets called. But if you can't beat him under those circumstances, man, I don't know. LeBron can complain about the officiating all he wants post game, but bottom line is Denver is damn good. Yep. And I get why LeBron's complaining about the officiating. He's searching for any way that they could beat them. And he's like, maybe if I complain about this publicly, we will get a better whistle, and that will actually help us beat them one time. I totally understand it, but I don't know. It feels the broom closet isn't quite wide open, Ted, but I think the door has been cracked, and maybe they're starting to reach the hand in to grab a broom.
Should have thrown that game against New Orleans, like we talked about.
I honestly not. It's not the worst thing you've ever said. You said it at the time, and I don't think you could run the risk of it. But after seeing what happened to Golden State, yeah, they're probably going, dang it.
Yeah.
But hey, NBA playoffs, man, I love it. I love the NBA playoffs.